On a construction site, mobile equipment poses several risks of struck by against that everyone needs to be aware of. Concrete delivery involves mobile equipment with its own specialized risks. This video uses best practices of concrete delivery for both high-rise and residential construction as an example of mobile equipment. In the case of concrete delivery, common safety concerns are ergonomic injuries, damage to hearing, chemical burns, slips, trips, and falls, struck by and mechanical equipment hazards, vehicle collisions or rollovers. Concrete is a strong alkali that can burn the skin and eyes, deeply and without pain. Avoid contact by wearing safety eyewear, alkali-resistant gloves, rubber boots, and similar PPE. If you show signs of a concrete burn, report to the first aid attendant immediately. Be sure to consult the MSDS sheet for information on the hazards, controls, and required PPE related to any hazardous material being transported around your job site. Addressing and controlling risks associated with mobile equipment reduces injuries and costly equipment replacement. Pre-planning and communication are important first steps in preventing accidents, and a job hazard assessment at each new site will determine safety risks such as unstable slopes, tripping hazards, overhead hazards, tight areas, or other obstructions. If you notice any issues when doing the job hazard assessment, you should contact the supervisor at the site or your direct supervisor. Know when mobile equipment will be on site, what material is being delivered, and the hazards, controls, and required personal protection equipment, or PPE, related to the material. When moving mobile equipment, avoid using distracting electronic devices. Good planning and communication is the first step in preventing accidents. Know the basic roles and responsibilities of those involved in construction to understand your role in prevention of mobile equipment accidents and injuries. The prime contractor is responsible for identifying hazards to workers and the public, such as traffic, slope, or unstable ground, and overhead hazards. Pre-planning and coordinating site delivery and layout. The supervisor is responsible for coordinating and supervising pour activities, identifying, communicating, and controlling all hazards. The supplier is responsible for supplying MSDS sheets, ensuring operators are equipped with proper PPE, ensuring equipment is in safe operating condition. The worker is responsible for ensuring that they are alert at work, following all safety procedures, wearing proper PPE, looking out for and reporting any hazards they see to their supervisor. Part of good planning and communication is the development of a site plan that is discussed before any work begins. Topics addressed should include safety hazards, material hazards, proper PPE, traffic control, roles and responsibilities on site, and best practice techniques. Once a site plan has been established, this can be talked through with workers in a tailgate or toolbox meeting. In the next section, we will examine the best practices around the three methods of concrete delivery. 1. A chute pour. 2. A crane and bucket pour. 3. A pump pour. Chapter 1. Unloading from the chute. Soft or wet ground conditions and open excavation hazards require risk assessment. A visual inspection done in advance by a site superintendent and the ready-mix driver upon arrival should address this. Chute pours often require the concrete truck to remain on site for a long period of time and make multiple moves to different pour locations. Ground conditions must be solid beneath the truck to diminish any risk of tipping. Also, careful execution of traffic control is needed to protect the public and workers when moving a concrete truck around a job site. The original delivery truck may remain stationary once on site, while additional mobile equipment such as bobcats deliver the material to various locations around site. If you are not directly involved in delivery of the materials, make sure you are aware of the traffic pattern for any mobile equipment on your site. Here we can see a traffic control person and cones clearly marking the route for traffic flow around workers and worksite equipment, as well as a safe unloading zone for the concrete truck. Here we see a chute pour into a bobcat bucket. Chute extensions have warning labels indicating load capacities. It is critical to understand and adhere to load capacities with any mobile equipment. In concrete chute pours, the driver must know the limitations for chute extensions. Too much weight can collapse the chute and create a crushing hazard, or a shift in weight could cause an uncontrolled chute swing, posing the risk of a struck by against. Notice the concrete truck driver is careful to wear his safety glasses and gloves while unloading to limit exposure to concrete splash. It is the wrap-up and cleanup at the end of a job that may require the most attention and diligence, as people may be tired and feeling rushed, and the potential for accident is high at this phase. Always allow time for a proper wash-up and site re-evaluation prior to breakdown. Ensure TCPs do not break down the traffic control zone until the mobile equipment has left the job site. It is just as important for traffic control to provide a safe area for equipment wash-up, as the driver of the mobile equipment will likely be outside and around the perimeter of the equipment during this stage. Know and conform to environmental regulations for washing out equipment and fold-up. If there is larger mobile equipment that needs breaking down at the end of a job, carefully consider road closures and any hazards around disassembly. To prevent struck-by-against injuries when delivering and moving mobile equipment around a site, it is important to have careful and clear planning and communication. Always evaluate and propose corrective measures for continual improvement on the worksite. Struck-against injuries are one of the top 3 accident types identified by WorkSafe BC in their high-risk strategy reports. For further resources to help prevent injuries caused by struck-against objects in the construction industry, please visit the WorkSafe BC website. These resources may not meet all the requirements for health and safety in British Columbia. Please check the Workers' Compensation Act, the Occupational Health and Safety Regulation, and related materials for specific WorkSafe BC requirements.